Excellent mercredi à toutes et à tous. Bienvenue sur RT France pour 30 minutes d'information. Le Premier ministre accueille syndicats et patronat cet après-midi à Matignon. Organisation reçue tour à tour à partir de 14h30 par Édouard Philippe avant que le chef du gouvernement ne les accueille demain en multilatéral. Et ce après une nouvelle journée de grève hier. 615 000 manifestants contre la réforme des retraites partout en France selon le ministère de l'Intérieur. 1,8 million d'après la CGT. Sandy Martins.
Fumigène, tirs de projectiles ou encore assaut des forces de l'ordre, la manifestation qui avait débuté dans un esprit bon enfant s'achève par quelques heures dans la capitale. Un troisième jour de protestation nationale qui a rencontré un franc succès selon la CGT, avec près de 350 000 manifestants à Paris, alors que le ministère de l'Intérieur chiffre cette manifestation à 76 000 personnes dans la capitale. Une mobilisation contre la réforme des retraites qui pour la première fois rassemble tous les syndicats.
Ça peut s'arrêter dès jeudi ou mercredi même. Il nous invite à le rencontrer, sa porte est ouverte. J'espère qu'elle ne va pas se refermer tout de suite. Donc la balle est dans le camp du gouvernement. Tout le monde sait que c'est eux qui ont la situation en main et en fonction des réponses que nous aurons, eh bien les grévistes jugeront.
La CFDT, elle veut une réforme des retraites qui soit juste et équitable. On a toujours été pour le régime universel des retraites, on l'a toujours dit, on l'a défendu, on l'a travaillé. Et je crois que c'est un peu nous qui emportons l'ambition en premier. Ceci étant, le projet qui a été annoncé par le gouvernement porte une ligne rouge énorme, c'est cet âge d'équilibre. Et donc aujourd'hui, il faut que les militants CFDT et que tous ceux qui portent une réforme juste et équitable soient dans la rue pour montrer que nous ne voulons pas de cet âge d'équilibre qui est terriblement injuste, qui va concerner d'abord ceux qui ont commencé à travailler tôt, qui va concerner des gens qui ont la retraite pleine et entière à 62 ans et qui vont malgré tout être obligés de travailler plus longtemps.
Le cortège a démarré à 14h place de la République pour arriver place de la Nation en fin d'après-midi. Alors que les manifestants dans les rues semblent plus nombreux que la semaine dernière, à l'Assemblée nationale, le gouvernement, lui, reste ferme sur sa réforme.
Nous avons dit clairement quel était notre projet. Et sur ce projet, sur la création d'un régime universel de retraite, ma détermination, celle du gouvernement, celle de l'ensemble de la majorité est totale. Je le dis calmement, elle est totale. Sur la création de ce régime universel et sur la nécessité de faire prévaloir l'équilibre du système futur et la remise à l'équilibre du système actuel.
Le Premier ministre recevra mercredi syndicats et patronat à Matignon pour engager les négociations.
Selon les autorités, la manifestation d'hier a mobilisé environ 200 000 personnes de moins que le 5 décembre. La CGT, elle, en compte 300 000 de plus qu'il y a 15 jours.
Tous nos syndicats nous ont remonté une présence beaucoup plus importante que le 5 décembre. J'ai pu me rendre à la manifestation parisienne et j'ai remarqué aussi une présence plus importante des électriciens gaziers. Cette semaine, elle doit créer les conditions d'un rapport de force plus important, des grèves dans les professions plus importantes avec des chiffres de grévistes aussi à la hausse et donc des mobilisations dans les manifestations et les actions avec beaucoup plus de monde. Je suis optimiste par rapport à la mobilisation qui va nous emmener. Je suis vraiment confiant à un recul du gouvernement. Pour nous, il n'y a rien d'intéressant dans cette réforme et au contraire, la CGT qui a été reçue à plusieurs reprises, qui n'a pu jamais négocier, puisque ça n'a jamais été de véritable négociation, a présenté un contre-projet. Donc l'idéal serait demain que finalement le Premier ministre dise « bon, on arrête tout, le projet de réforme on le met de côté et puis on va relancer des négociations, de véritables négociations avec l'ensemble des organisations syndicales et ce, dès la rentrée 2020. »
Parmi les mesures contestées de la réforme des retraites, l'âge pivot à 64 ans en 2027. Plus d'explications avec Cyrielle Benavides-Bulbulian.
À compter du 1er janvier 2022, les personnes nées entre 1960 et 1965 pourraient partir à la retraite à 62 ans et 4 mois, ce qui représente l'âge d'équilibre. Tous les ans, il serait repoussé de 4 mois pour atteindre 64 ans définitifs en 2027. En 2027, une fois le début de la génération 1960 en retraite, les principaux concernés seraient celles et ceux nés entre 1965 et 1970. En partant en retraite avant 64 ans, vous subiriez un malus. A l'inverse, en partant après 64 ans, vous obtiendriez un bonus sur vos points acquis tout au long de votre carrière. Ce sont les partenaires sociaux, gestionnaires des régimes de retraite complémentaires et représentants des organisations patronales et syndicales qui décident chaque année de la valeur d'un point de retraite, appelé aussi salaire de référence. Le barème de ce bonus-malus n'ayant pas encore été défini, basons-nous sur un pourcentage de 10% afin de bien comprendre. Alain a 62 ans. Après 42 ans de carrière, il souhaite partir à la retraite. Et le gouvernement ayant déclaré un taux de conversion de 55 centimes d'euros, sa pension de retraite devrait être la suivante. Mais Alain part avant 64 ans. Son malus est donc de 10%. Il perd 137,50 € tous les mois. Selon la CGT, l'âge pivot à 64 ans et le bonus-malus sont une manière déguisée de repousser l'âge légal sans réel avantage pour les nouveaux retraités. Pour la CFDT, il s'agit d'un système injuste qui doit être adapté à la carrière de chacun. Un âge unique reviendrait donc à désavantager celles et ceux ayant exercé des métiers à forte pénibilité.
Un premier simulateur pour calculer sa retraite est mis en ligne dès aujourd'hui par le gouvernement. La réforme des retraites qui continue de faire réagir la classe politique, de Jean-Luc Mélenchon à Nadine Morano en passant par Jean-Christophe Cambadélis.
Mardi de former un gouvernement d'unité d'ici fin février 2020, alors qu'ils font face à la censure internationale pour des pourparlers de paix défaillants.
Salva Kiir et Riek Machar s'engagent à former un gouvernement de partage du pouvoir d'ici février. Le président du Soudan du Sud et son ancien adjoint devenu chef de l'opposition ont signé une trêve en septembre 2018, mais sans parvenir à respecter l'un des éléments clés de cet accord, à savoir la formation d'un gouvernement d'unité et le règlement de leurs différends. Un délai de 100 jours leur avait été accordé par les partenaires régionaux pour y parvenir. Premièrement, dans les 100 jours prochains, nous devons former le gouvernement et s'il y a des objectifs qui n'ont pas été atteints, nous demanderons au gouvernement d'unité nationale de les atteindre. Deuxièmement, il n'arrête pas de dire que le cessez-le-feu sera maintenu. Les désaccords persistent sur les frontières territoriales et l'engagement d'unifier leurs combattants. Le 12 novembre, on leur a accordé 100 jours de plus pour honorer le pilier de l'accord de paix et ils craignent de plus en plus que la fragile trêve dans le pays soit menacée. À ce sujet, Riek Machar se veut rassurant. Dans une semaine, nous ferons entrer ces forces dans les camps d'entraînement. Par exemple, à Gorom et dans le Haut-Nil. Le Soudan du Sud a sombré dans la guerre civile en 2013.
Esta semana, na Euronews.
Falta de médicos e medicamentos, hospitais em mau estado, são uma realidade para quem vive na zona do conflito na Ucrânia. O sistema de saúde foi uma das vítimas da guerra. Como melhorar o sistema de saúde na zona do conflito na Ucrânia? Para ver esta quinta-feira em Zone, na Euronews e Euronews.com.
Driver in distress in London. You see a Volkswagen there being pushed sideways on a highway by a mail truck. The trucker didn't know that the car was on his grill.
Wow.
Goulding had her driver pull alongside the truck to alert the driver. No one was hurt. Goulding also took to Instagram to criticize other drivers for verbally abusing the trucker. A woman is dead after a sidewalk tragedy here in New York City, and it's shining a spotlight on a nationwide problem of aging buildings.
The 60-year-old woman was hit and killed by debris that fell from a building that was more than a century old. Her death comes 8 months after the building's owners were cited for failure to maintain exterior building facade. City investigators are determining whether scaffolding should have been in place. And a young brother and sister missing for nearly 3 days in Florida are safe and sound this morning.
6-year-old Braxton and his 5-year-old sister Bria vanished while playing in front of their home on Sunday morning. Jacksonville mayor is calling it a Christmas miracle. ABC's Victor Okendo is there.
We have both kids. We're heading out of the woods.
A wave of relief in Jacksonville, Florida, after 6-year-old Braxton and his 5-year-old sister Bria Williams were found alive nearly 3 days after vanishing from their yard.
It's a miracle, Christmas miracle, and it's a blessing. A lot of hard work been done, and that's all I want to say. Just thank God for it.
For days, rescue teams searched and finally heard the sound of a child's voice.
One of the rescue team members heard a voice, thought was a child's voice, and so they fanned out and started looking and actually found him and heard him talking.
Braxton and Bria were found in an old pump house in thick, swampy woods where they'd taken shelter just a quarter-mile from home.
Both are in very good condition.
For the family, it was an agonizing wait that's now over.
They're alive and they're well, and it's amazing.
Right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. Right before. So this is an awesome Christmas gift for everybody.
At this point, authorities believe the kids just wandered off and they were by themselves the entire time. They're now at this hospital where they're a little dehydrated, but they're happy. And when they were rescued, they asked for 2 things: candy and a cheese pizza. Victor Okendo, ABC News, Jacksonville.
So thankful.
Very relieved.
This time yesterday, there were so many concerns that people expected maybe possible foul play because a neighbor or someone just minutes before saw a car speeding away and they thought they saw children in the back of the car. Obviously, that turned out not to be the case. These kids were in the woods. Thankful that they have been sound.
Glad they're home, waking up at home with their family. When we come back, even the Empire State Building cannot get enough of Mariah Carey around the holidays.
And our favorite moments from the last 30 years of The Simpsons. Been that long? The Skinny is next.
Tutte le retribuzioni da precaria verranno calcolate per la pensione, il che automaticamente la farà scendere di valore. Secondo il disegno di legge, i punti verranno assegnati in base ai trimestri lavorati e non sarà più possibile far valere nel calcolo delle spettanze i migliori trattamenti retributivi ricevuti. Allungare l'età pensionabile da 62 a 64 anni. Con questo sistema serve solo a tagliare i costi. La nostra priorità è far cambiare idea al governo, soprattutto per ottenere maggiori protezioni per i lavori usuranti. Ora l'attenzione si sposta sulle decisioni che prenderà il governo.
Migliaia di nuovo in piazza a Praga per chiedere le dimissioni del premier Babis accusato di corruzione. Praga, come altre 200 città ceche in cui continuano le manifestazioni contro il primo ministro, coinvolto in un procedimento giudiziario riaperto dalla Corte Suprema, malgrado l'assoluzione in primo grado. Voglio lottare per la democrazia e perché penso ai miei bambini, dice questa manifestante, e perché non voglio che una bugia diventi una cosa normale. Penso che con tali accuse in altri paesi il primo ministro si sarebbe dimesso, dice quest'altro manifestante. Il nostro afferma invece che non lo farà mai. Non penso che questo sia il modo in cui la politica dovrebbe essere condotta.
Has already started a 15-day marathon playing all 661 episodes. You can also watch every episode on Disney Plus from ABC's parent company. All 661. That's a lot.
15 days straight. It's a whole lot of
And
TV.
now I think in 15 days we're going to do a story about someone who did it and how long it took them.
I know. Like what they learned.
Did they do
or
15?
Some secret things in there.
Did they go to the bathroom? Did they eat?
How many few friends they have. Mariah Carey is adding new meaning to Merry and Bright this holiday season. She flipped the switch on the Empire State Building light show in honor of the 25th anniversary of her smash hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, which also just reached #1 on the Billboard charts for the first time ever.
Mariah glittered in a platinum gown on Tuesday night, kicking off the building's light show set to the music of her Christmas classic, which will play every night at 8 p.m. from now through Christmas Day. Did we get that glitter reference in there?
I was just going to say, Mariah would probably rather we didn't reference glitter.
So we showed her with Billy Eichner running around the streets in the skinny yesterday, and there was a glitter reference, and she laughed, she chuckled.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'll show you the video later.
Yeah, okay, good.
Surprised you didn't see it on the show.
I'm not an insomniac, actually, when I'm at home, believe it or not.
Well, you need some, make sure you get the proper rest for the human you're growing.
Thank you very much. Who happens to be kicking right now, actually?
Oh, because of Mariah's
I guess
music?
Baby loves All I Want for Christmas.
And Uncle K-Mo's voice. Hey, when it comes to Christmas, the only person bigger than Santa Claus is Shaq-a-Claus.
Like, actually, the 7'1" athlete is gearing up for his 28th season of giving toys to children in need this holiday season. Shaq has said that he knows what it's like to not get anything on Christmas morning, and he doesn't want that for any other kids.
On top of that, Shaq says he won't accept any presents of his own this year as well. He says, you know me, you show me a movie where Santa receives gifts, and I'll take one. But can I do it in my Shaq voice? Roll that prompter back. Roll it back. Roll it back. Here we go. Hey, I'm Shaq. You show me a movie where Santa receives gifts, and I'll take one. Hey, I'm Shaq.
You guys go ahead and give that, rate it 0 to 10 on Twitter. We'll see how many zeros he gets.
Absolute 0.
Is that Jack
Thank
back?
you,
Jack,
Jack.
Jack.
Absolute
Jack, where are
0.
you? Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is known for his sculpted physique and rock-solid showings at the box office. But this morning, we're seeing a softer side of The Rock, sharing a sweet photo of his daughter Jasmine on her 4th birthday.
The actor writing, can't promise I'll be here for the rest of your life, but have my word, I'll love and take care of you for the rest of mine. And thank God you got your mama's good looks. So precious.
I love it. So sweet.
That is very sweet. Can you believe that he's the man who used to say, can you smell what The Rock... You know what? I shouldn't have just done that after you just did your awful Shaq impersonation.
Let's go ahead and rate that.
No,
Let us know what you think about that one.
I stopped myself. I don't need you to weigh in.
Ronnie Heyman reports.
Sir Ron Briley was arrested at Sydney International Airport early yesterday morning after he was stopped by Border Force officials as he attempted to board a flight to Fiji. Police say detectives seized the 82-year-old's carry-on luggage, where they allegedly found images of child pornography on his laptop. The former trustee of the Sydney Cricket Ground has been charged with 6 counts of possessing child pornography images. He's been granted strict conditional bail, including that he continue living here at his Point Piper home. The New Zealander was admitted as a knight in 1988, and he's also the founder of one of New Zealand's biggest investment firms, R.A. Briley Investments. More recently, he retired as the chairman of Mercantile Investments in June, saying that due to his age and health, he can no longer give his full commitment to the company. Now, police say that they've been investigating this matter since August, but the exact circumstances around the allegations have not been revealed. He's due to appear in court in February.
New Zealand police have apologised for not having been able to find the 2 bodies still missing after last week's volcano eruption on White Island. 16 people have been confirmed dead and 2 people...
AI 한돌의 실수가 프로라면 있을 수 없는 실수다 이렇게 좀 분석들을 하고 있는데 어떻게 분석하고 계십니까?
예, 실수한 장면만 놓고 보면은
네.
이제 아주 기초적인 것이기 때문에 이제 나올 수 없는 실수가 맞긴 한데요. 그 장면에서 이제 보통 인공지능들은 좀 형태를 되게 중요시해서 모양이 나쁜 수는 잘 선택을 안 해요. 그런 관점에서 보면은 이제 또 2점 잡바둑이다 보니까 축도 불리하고 이런 것들을 종합적으로 볼 때는 충분히 나올 수 있는 실수라고 보여집니다. 컴퓨터이기 때문에 나올 수 있는 실수죠. 예.
예, 지금도 말씀해 주셨지만 2점 젖바둑이어서 좀 그 실수가 나왔을 가능성이 있다 이렇게 말씀해 주셨는데 이 2점 젖바둑이 그러니까 바둑을 잘 모르시는 분들 저도 사실 잘 모릅니다만 이게 어느 정도로 유리한 건지 좀 설명을 좀 해주시죠.
예, 뭐 집으로 따지면 대략 뭐 덤도 있고 해서 한 5집 건절이 될 텐데요. 근데 집으로 따지는 것보다도 일단 중요한 게 이제 2개를 놓고 시작을 하면은 이제 좀 이 흙이 3개를 차지하기 때문에 중앙에서 전투가 벌어졌을 때 이제 축 관계된 게 되게 유리합니다. 오늘 바둑에서도 축 모양이 되게 많이 나왔고요. 이게 축 모양이 나오게 되면은 아무래도 컴퓨터가 좀 이제 실수할 가능성이 좀 높아지거든요. 그래서 이제 중앙에서 전투가 벌어지면서 축이나 장문과 관련된 여러 가지 이제 기술이 필요한 상황에서 이제 전투를 하니까 거기서 이제 이세돌 구단이 우위를 잡을 수 있었다고 보여집니다.
네. 그 이제 오늘 이세돌 구단의 방식이 좀 달라지지 않습니까? 오늘 같은 경우는 AI의 우세를 인정해서 2점을 먼저 놓고 이세돌 구단이 시작을 했고 내일은 이제 동등한 상태에서 이제 싸움을 하게 되는 거잖아요.
포수.
네네. 이제
내일 어떻게 전망하십니까?
바둑을 두게 되는데 아무래도 이제 맞바둑에서는 좀 힘든 것이 좀 사실이고요. 어떻게 보면 지금 이제 정상급 프로 기사들하고 인공지능 프로그램하고 치수가 9점에서 3점 사이다라고 지금 평가들을 하고 있거든요. 그런데 오늘 2점에 이겼다는 건 상당히 놀라운 일이고요. 내일 뭐 어쨌든 이세돌 구단 입장에서는 뭐 잃을 것이 없기 때문에 편안하게 좀 승부를 할 수 있지 않을까 좀 그런 생각이 좀 듭니다.
저도 궁금한 게 하나 있는데요. 그러니까 보통 이제 알파고 때 이후로 보면 이 인공지능 프로그램들이 보면은 각 수를 둘 때마다 승률을 계산을 해서 가장 그러니까 AI 입장에서는 이길 수 있는 가장 승률이 높은 수를 이제 두게 되는 걸로 알고 있는데요. 오늘 같은 경우 78수 이후에 그 한돌이 뒀던 수들이 그 승률로 놓고 봤을 때는 과연 그게 좋은 수로 판단해서 그렇게 둔 건지 아니면 정말 어떤 좀 결함이나 뭐 어떤 실수 이런 게 있었던 건지 그 부분이 좀 궁금하거든요.
그러니까 이제 컴퓨터 같은 경우에는 승률을 계산을 할 때 수를 다 읽고 두는 건 아니거든요. 대부분 이제 모양을 많이 중요시합니다. 모양이 나쁜 수 같은 경우에는 승률도 낮게 나오거든요. 그래서 이제 그 당시에도 이 단수치고 장문을 못 봐가지고 빈장각으로 이제 밀어서 뒀는데 그 당시에는 사실 제가 검토해본 바로는 어떻게 두더라도 백이 모양이 좋은 수가 없거든요, 한돌이. 그러다 보니까 이제 좀 그나마 모양이 좋은 수를 선택을 한 건데 거기서 이제 좀 수익기에 이제 끝까지 수를 못 본 거죠.
그렇군요. 지금 오늘 대고 보셨고 또 이세돌 구단 뭐 스스로 은퇴 상대를 AI로 정했지만 그 한 2~5달간 벼락치기 할 정도로 스트레스가 많았던 것으로 전해지고 있는데 어떻습니까? 오늘 이렇게 일단 이겼거든요. 오늘 그 이세돌 구단의 머릿속에는 어떤 구상들이 좀 있을 거라고 예상하십니까?
이세돌 구단 뭐 성격상으로 봤을 때는요. 내일 승부하는 데만 완전히 몰입이 돼 있을 거거든요. 예전에 이제 비시카드배 때도 제가 같이 있었던 적이 있는데, 아주 집중력이 놀라울 정도로 좋기 때문에 내일 승부에서 어떻게 할 것이냐 이것만 아마 생각을 하고 있을 것 같습니다. 지금은.
한 가지만 더 여쭤본다면 제가 궁금한 게 하나가 더 있는데요. 그 이세돌 구단도 뭐 당연히 프로 생활 중에 처음으로 젖바둑을 접했고 또 이 AI 한돌도 오늘 젖바둑이 처음이었는데. 이 젖바둑을 처음 접한 AI 한돌이 그 부분이 어떻게 영향을 좀 미쳤다고 보세요?
죄송합니다. 젖바둑이기 때문에 아무래도 이제 젖바둑에서는 이제 초반부터 타이트하게 이제 싸움이 벌어지면요 배석이 불리할 수밖에 없거든요. 그러다 보면은 이제 반전의 계기를 마련하기 위해서 자꾸 적극적으로 몸싸움을 하다 보면 무리할 수밖에 없습니다. 그러니까 그 무리한 틈을 이세돌 구단이 잘 찔러 들어간 건데요. 젖바둑이니까 이세돌 구단이 초반부터 아주 판을 잘 짜서 한돌이 무리할 수밖에 없게 만들었던 게 승인으로 보여집니다.
네, 알겠습니다. 오늘 설명 잘 들었습니다. 김찬호 프로기사 6단이었습니다. 오늘 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네. 자, 뭐 잃을 것이 없다고 뭐 김찬호 기사님은 얘기를 했는데 전문가들은 내일 대국 어떻게 예상하고 있습니까?
뭐 전문가들 포함해서요. 이세돌 구단도 내일은 이제 일반적인 방식이죠. 보통 우리가 많이 보시는 바둑 방식이죠. 이제 두 점이나 한 점 깔지 않고 서로 이제 맞바둑으로 두는 방식이기 때문에 이세돌 구단도 쉽지 않을 거다. 다만 열심히 최선을 다한다면 기적이 일어날 수 있기 때문에 그런 부분들을 좀 기대해 보겠다라고 얘기를 했는데 오늘은 두 점을 깔고 둔 거였고요. 내일은 두 점 안 깔고 두는 거기 때문에 쉽지는 않을 거고요. 앞서 말씀드린 것처럼 젖바둑이 아닌 일반적인 방식에서 AI를 지금까지 이긴 바둑 기사는 이세돌 구단이 유일했고요. 그 이후로 AI 현재 이 기량이 엄청나게 많이 늘어났기 때문에 이세돌 구단 이후로는 단 한 명도 AI를 이긴 적이 없습니다. 그만큼 내일 승부는 일단은 이세돌 구단이 절대적으로 불리하다라고 좀 얘기하고 싶습니다.
한 가지 짧게 질문드리면 사람은 오늘 하루라는 시간을 어떻게 활용할 수 있을지 어느 정도 예측이 되는데 AI도 준비를 할까요?
AI는 그러니까 사람은 오늘 한 잠도 안 자고 24시간 바둑을 둔다 해도 뭐 몇 판을 주겠습니까? 하지만 AI는 뭐 한 몇 시간 안에 수천 판, 수만 판까지 자기 스스로 딥러닝이라는 게 그렇게 학습을 하면서 오늘의 실수를 포함해서 내일 조금 더 업그레이드된 버전으로 나올 수 있는 그런 상황이기 때문에 내일 승부는 굉장히 쉽지 않은 승부가 예상이 되고요. 내일 만약에 이세돌 구단이 오늘처럼 이긴다면 알파고보다 더 의미가 있지 않을까 저는 개인적으로 그렇게 생각을 합니다.
내일 쉽지 않겠지만 좀 이기는 소식도 기대를 해보겠습니다. 지금까지 스포츠부 김재영 기자와 함께 이세돌 구단 이야기 해봤습니다. 말씀 고맙습니다.
All of it on France 24. The entire editorial staff in Bogota, our correspondents throughout Latin America and around the world are gearing up to bring you even more information, explanation and analysis. Don't miss it on December 20th.
You're watching live from Paris here on France 24. Glad you could join us. These are our top stories this hour. The US House of Representatives gets ready to vote on the official impeachment of the US president. Donald Trump sending an angry letter to Nancy Pelosi telling her history will judge her harshly as locals take to the street to protest against Trump and indeed call for his impeachment. The French government, meanwhile, is entering talks with trade unions as strikes and protests here against proposed reforms continue. Both sides saying they're determined and will not be backing down. Also coming up for you very shortly, we're going to be speaking to a doctor in Finland who decided to break his silence and has called on other Uyghurs around the world to do the same. Our prospective guest took to social media after his own parents were detained in camps in China. His call to speak out has been answered by hundreds of people who are looking for their relatives and who also report cases of abuse from inside those camps. Scores of anti-Trump demonstrations have been held across the United States as the House of Representatives there gets ready to vote on the official impeachment charges against Donald Trump. A vote that is expected to pass the House of Representatives. It will then go before the Senate. The upper house, however, controlled by Republicans, so it's likely it could get dismissed at this point. But for now, as Democrats gear up to cast their ballots, the US president couldn't hide his frustration. He dismissed the process once again as a witch hunt and sent an angry letter to Nancy Pelosi. Cole Stangler tells us more.
Ahead of a historic impeachment vote, fury from the U.S. president. In a letter to the Democratic leader of the House of Representatives, Donald Trump called the measure an unequaled and unconstitutional abuse of power. When the House meets Wednesday, it's expected to impeach the president along party lines over abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Trump seemed all but resigned to that Tuesday and said he's ready for the next step.
What do you say to Americans? Look, it's a hoax. The whole impeachment thing is a hoax. We look forward to getting onto the Senate. It's a witch hunt, and it's just a continuation. It's been going on now for almost 3 years, and it probably started before I even won the election.
Democrats say Trump violated his oath of office by withholding military aid to Ukraine in a bid to pressure the country's president to investigate Democratic rival Joe Biden. They also say he interfered with Congress's investigation into the matter. If the House does impeach the president, it would trigger a trial to remove Trump from office in the Senate. but the upper chamber is controlled by Republicans allied to the president. On Tuesday, they rejected a call to allow key witnesses from the administration to testify, something criticized by the Senate's top Democrat.
The 4 witnesses we proposed have direct knowledge of why aid to Ukraine was delayed. We don't know, as I said, what kind of evidence they'll present. It may be incriminating. It may be exculpatory.
Eventual trial in the Senate would begin on January 6th. While 2 U.S. presidents have been impeached, neither was removed from office.
The French government is to sit down for talks today with trade unions. On the eve of the discussions, however, the Prime Minister said the government remained determined to pass through their reforms. On Tuesday, major protests across the country, people from a wide range of sectors taking to the streets. Trade unions saying they're also committed to continuing their action, hoping to increase strikes in the coming days and weeks. Laurent Bersteker takes a look at those different sides as the talks begin.
Despite mounting popular pressure against France's controversial pensions reform, Édouard Philippe has so far refused to back down.
My determination and that of the government is unwavering.
But as the French Prime Minister meets with union leaders for bilateral talks on Wednesday, and after nearly 2 weeks of strikes that have paralyzed the country, it may be time for the government to start making concessions. Philippe's main goal will be to get this man on board, Laurent Berger, head of the CFDT, France's biggest union, and one of the few that's not opposed to the idea of reforming the pension system. Yet convincing the CFDT would likely require the government to soften its stance on several sticking points, including setting a pivot retirement age of 64 years old, a measure which Berger has repeatedly criticized.
It won't be enough to make us support this reform, but what is certain is that in order to hold talks in the weeks to come, the pivot age of 64 must be withdrawn.
Yet even reaching a compromise with the moderate CFDT may not be enough to end the strikes. A majority of railway workers belong to more hardline unions like the CGT, which are demanding the law be dropped altogether. After Tuesday's massive showing, in which several hundred thousands of people took to the streets in protest, and with the majority of the French population saying they support the strike, hardline unions say the ball is now in the government's court.
Time now for perspective. Well, his mother was detained first, then his father. A doctor in Finland decided to go public about it and, recording a video, denounced China and its treatment of Uyghurs. He then launched a global campaign to get more and more of the diaspora to follow his lead. The Me Too Uyghur movement was launched and stories have been flooding in since. Mr. Halmarat Hari Uyghur, thank you for joining us. And can I start simply by asking you about your own personal story? Your parents, both of them, taken into what the Chinese like to call re-education camps. Can you tell me exactly how this happened?
First of all, thank you for having me. My parents are retired civil servants. They used to work for government. For example, my mom used to work for Turpan Daily newspaper. My father was working for local administration office. You don't have any criminal backgrounds, and they were enjoying their retirements with a good amount of pensions. So you don't have any political ambitions, and to be honest, they are not practicing any religions. I don't know if they are really religious. We have never talked about all this. So China says they are the radicalized people, but my parents are not radicalized people. They are just regular people. They've been detained for nothing. I assume maybe because I live abroad and they are well-traveled, well-educated Uyghurs, and maybe that's the one and only reason why they are being detained in those concentration camps. I can't find other reasons.
Because you spoke out publicly after they had already been detained. Have your parents spoken to you, firstly, what it was like in those camps that they were held in?
Well, until recently, I cannot directly contact with my parents, although my parents being released 21st December 2018, because they are not allowed to use internet. until recently, now they can use internet, so I can indirectly with someone else, WeChat, I can contact with them, but only few times I've been contacting with them. I don't have any chance to ask them because even the neighbors of my parents being remote and some other, possibly the civil polices are moved in. So they are under this, surveillance, both within the home and outside. So in this case, I didn't want to make any trouble to my parents. I haven't been able to ask. So
yeah, indeed, they're outside of the camps, but not exactly free. And as you say, you did make that decision to speak out publicly about your parents being detained, which does have its risks.
It is. Me and many other Uyghur activists, even the regular Uyghurs are, they live abroad, also feel not safe with constant threats from the spies. People are stalking online as well as on the streets. I myself being threatened a few times and being followed when I'm traveling abroad. So it is really risky, and I'm afraid like each and every move every decision I made, how it will involve it or impact my parents. I don't want Chinese authority, to retaliate my parents. They are kind of kidnapped by the Chinese authority, and they are graduated from re-education camps, so they are normal citizens now. Why they cannot have passports? Why they cannot come to see me and their, the daughters?
Indeed, why they don't let them leave altogether is a good question. But you talk there about quite a frightening threat and that feeling of being followed. And yet, despite that, and that is something we're hearing about from other Uyghurs around the world, a lot of people seem to have answered your call to speak out and break the silence. Tell me a bit about what they've been telling you and indeed the importance of this movement, having somehow a list of what's happening.
So far, many other Uyghur activists did many different campaigns, and I started with creating platforms and being bridge for those grassroots people to raise their personal cases. For example, with social media campaigns, they can give testimonies and let the world know that they are the regular people and they don't have any other ambitions, although they've been detained and being targeted. So first I started this freedom tour, and I traveled all different countries. So far I traveled over 20 different countries. Most of them have the Uyghur diaspora communities, and I talked to them. Their story is really heartbreaking. I cannot come one by one, but there are many stories that they are students and they were studying abroad. Then all of a sudden their parents being detained and their economical supports being cut, their connection being cut, and their passports going to expire and they don't know what to do. So those are the really, the immediate problems of many Uyghurs who live abroad now.
But as you mentioned there's Uyghurs all over the world. We have seen some international reaction. The European Parliament, for example, just today handing out that award to the jailed ethnic Uyghur economics professor Iman Tohi. That's one reaction, perhaps a stance from the European Parliament there. But overall, what help has the international community been given?
Well, actually, the international community can do many things. Many countries have already called out China on their human rights abuses, but China has only worsening its genocidal policies. We need countries to follow, for example, the U.S. by coming up with the laws that similar to the U.S. Uyghur Human Rights Act, which could force government to take practical steps in boycotting, investigating China, and protecting Uyghurs from deportation and securing threats by who live in those respectful countries. Especially in Europe, people who are involved with, for example, in France, Gulhumar and her family, well aware of the current situation of the Uyghurs. Those people could form some kind of coalition and start joint mission to do something in European Union or Parliament, because every country doing something on its own, it's not going to work. As European Union as a whole making decision, nobody how to afraid to lose business opportunity, because China is also afraid of losing its economic ties with European countries. In this case, you don't know who they should be turning to, like they did once to the Norway. Now they are doing it to the Sweden. I think the European Union is, in general, should be more braver. They should be thinking about what they want to do and how to implement it.
Indeed, it's being brave there, speaking out and getting people to work together on that issue, which of course was the motivation for your Me Too Uyghur movement. Dr. Halmurat Hari Uyghur, thanks so much for speaking to us live from Finland and giving us your story there.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if you're just joining us here on France 24, these are our top stories this hour. The US House of Representatives gets ready to vote on the official impeachment of the US President. Donald Trump, for his part, sending an angry 6-page letter to Nancy Pelosi, telling her that history would judge her harshly. Locals, meanwhile, take to the streets across the country, protesting for impeachment. And here in France, the government and trade unions are set to sit down for talks as strikes and protests against proposed reforms continue. Both sides say they're determined and will not back down. It's time now for today's Focus Report, and it brings us to a restaurant here in Paris that is bringing international flavours to the French palate, a dining experience that was launched as the refugee crisis peaked somewhat in 2015. At that time, food and travel enthusiast Louis Jacot launched a win-win situation. Hiring only refugee chefs, the restaurant helped the new arrivals integrate faster, and it's also proved to be a very profitable business.
G5 Sahel Force, which was established in 2017, why hasn't it been able to take on the challenge? Is it due to a lack of resources or is there something else?
Before the lack of resources, you know, the G5 Sahel is made of national armies. I mean, elements from national armies. But let me tell you something. You have an example of Mali, the army in Mali. You know, have officers. They don't even know how many troops they have in one unit. Some of the soldiers don't even have weapons. When you have military camps which are not guarded during the prayers or during lunch or whatever. You know, it's such a situation where you have the feeling that the Barkhane or all the international forces there, MINUSMA, they believe they can solve the problem because the Malian army, the Malian troops are not in a position to do that. Instead of empowering them, it was necessary when they had the big crisis in 2013 to just stop the jihadists because the Malian could not do that.
Right.
And then to build up the armies, they did not do that. They have not done that. Right. The second element is that I totally agree that we have to focus on Africa and the context of Africa. Of course, when you have looming conflicts and then you have that external jihadist force, the situation is very ripe to become worse. And so if you really want to do something about it, you don't just bring money and think of security and military and weaponry. You need to really tackle social issues and development issues.
And we'll get into that in just a few minutes,
and we don't really see something happening in that front.
Yeah, we'll get into the solutions in just a few minutes if we can. Stig, let me ask you about this G5 Sahel force and its effectiveness or lack of effectiveness, as many would say. It's been set up now since 2017. Can this G5 experiment, in your view, work in a region that's crowded by sometimes competing military and domestic interests?
I have accepted responsibility for what I did wrong in my personal life, and I have invited members of Congress to work with us to find a reasonable, bipartisan, and proportionate response. That approach was rejected today by Republicans in the House. But I hope it will be embraced by the Senate.
The strategy now is to be very conciliatory toward the Senate, including Senate Republicans. Let House Democrats continue to bash House Republicans. The president now wants a censure deal in the Senate, if possible, in order to avoid a trial.
We're joined by ABC's Cokie Roberts, also Jackie Judd in Washington. Cokie, give us the thought on this day. How about this trial to come in the Senate? Do we get to trial?
The trial is likely to come. Yes, Charlie, you know the institution of Congress well, and you know that some of its players insist on the prerogatives of the institutions. And in the Senate, that would include Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia, the historian of the Senate, who will insist that the Senate go forward at least for a while. Obviously, the pressure will now be on to try to bring that to a short conclusion. But the pressure was on the House as well, and an election intervened, and the House has impeached the president.
Jackie, quickly, when you first learned of this story back in January, ever think we get to this day?
Oh my gosh, Charlie, no. The one constant of the story, in fact, over the past year has been its utter unpredictability. And even though over the past few days everyone had widely expected these articles of impeachment to pass, sitting here it was still a shock. It was just a
차별로 머리채를 잡아 흔들고 얼굴에 침을 뱉는 건 예사고 기물 파손.
여기 와서 한다고 그래. 사과하세요. 예의를 지켜야지. 예의를 그쪽에서 지키십시오. 어떻게 국회의원한테 욕을 하고.
도대체 저희가
뭔데 마이크를 들고 해?
거기에다가
아니 그냥 얘기하면 되지 왜 마이크를 들고 하세요? 그냥 말로 해도 되는데 시끄러워서 못 듣겠어. 그게 자유한국당 당원인지 아닌지 어떻게 알아요?
수백 명이
시끄러워서 확인했어? 우리 당 당원인지 아닌지 어떻게 알아요 그거를?
주먹 쓰지 않습니다.
의원님들 스스로가 국회 최소한의 이런 공격을 무너뜨리고 자유한국당이 당원인지 어디 가서 얼굴을 어떻게 생각하십니까? 자유한국당 집회 참석자들이 그랬습니다. 자유한국당들이 집회 참석한 거 아니에요. 무슨 소리 합니까 지금? 입에 담지 못할 쌍욕을 하면서
그 사람들이에요.
국회의원이고 뭐고
처벌하라 하세요. 분들 잡아가지고
거의적 책임 있는
이게 고발하셔가지고 잡았어.
반성하세요 반성. 반성하세요.
여기 그런 얘기 안 하면 들어가. 안 됩니다. 하지 마시고 공격을 비판하면 공격을 비판하고 마세요. 사람을 공격하지 마시고. 네.
본인들이 국회 내에서 지금 저지르고 있는 불법이다 생각하란 말이에요. 폭력을 쓰지 마세요. 누가 지금 폭력에 대해서 지금 다른 얘기 하는 거예요. 본인들이 나라 망치고 있는 걸 생각하란 말이에요.
한 것은 분명히 잘못인데 그 사람들이 뭔지를 먼저 제출하고 신문을 밝히는 게 그
자유한국당 때문에 이 지경까지 가신 분 때문에 이런 얘기 했습니까? 자유한국당 때문에 이 지경 당신들 밥그릇 늘리는 게 정이야? 좀 하세요. 당신들 밥그릇 늘리는 게 정이냐고? 부끄러운 줄 알아? 부끄러운 줄 알아야지. 부끄러운 줄 알라고요? 어디 와가지고 여기서 세상에 옳은 척을 합니까?
그래 가세요 빨리.
나라는 이만큼 본인들 생각 좀 하세요. 이럴 때 적당 가정도 이분들은 말씀인 거야. 와가지고 세상 옳은 척을 해요. 왜 국민들이 분노했는지 생각을 해봐. 어디 와서 제일 정의로운 척이야? 어디 와서 제일 정의로운 척이야?
저 사람도 똑같은 사람이야. 생각은 당신이라 해.
어디서 여기 와서 세상 옳은 척을 해? 여기 왔는데. 어?
정치 편향 교육 논란이 불거졌던 서울 인원고 사례와 같은 일에 재발을 막기 위한 대책을 논의하는 교원 토론회가 열렸습니다. 참가자들은 사회 현안 교육을 할 때 교사의 정치적 중립이 가장 중요하다는데 의견을 모았습니다. 권호진 기자가 보도합니다.
지난 10월 일부 학생이 교사가
정치 편향 교육을 했다고 공개 비판에 논란이 된 인원고 사태. 서울시 교육청이 조사 끝에 교사를 징계할 수준은 아닌 것으로 결론 내렸지만 문제를 제기한 학생이 징계를 받는 등 후유증이 여전합니다. 이를 계기로 교육청이 인원고 사태의 재발 방지 대책 마련에 나섰습니다. 학교에서 사회 현안을 가르칠 때 가이드라인을 만들기 위한 교원 토론회가 그 출발점입니다. 광노현 전 서울시 교육감의 주제 발표를 토대로 사회 현안 교육 필요한가와 지켜야 할 원칙에 대한 두 차례 열띤 토론이 이어졌습니다. 교원들은 다양한 입장 존중과 갈등의 평화적 해결을 위해 사회 현안 교육이 필요하고 교사의 정치적 중립을 가장 중요한 원칙으로 꼽았습니다.
확실한 바운더리를 정해주고 그다음에 모든 의견은 허용된다라고 하면 교사가 중립적이냐 안 중립적이냐는 그다지 나중에 문제가 되는 것 같습니다.
교사의 어떤 의견을 주관적인 의견을 강요하는 그런 것은 절대 우리가 조심해야 되지 않겠는가.
이어 모바일 투표를 거쳐 사회 현안 교육에 대한 참가자의 약속이 공동선언 형태로 발표됐습니다.
다수의 의견을 맹목적으로 따르지 않고 비판적 사고력과 문제 해결력을 기르는 사회 현안 교육이 필요하다.
일방적인 주입, 교화를 지향하고 학생들이 스스로 생각하여 결론에 도달하도록 교사는 중립을 지켜야 한다.
교육청은 사회 현안 교육 원칙을 내년 총선 전 40개 학교에서 진행할 모의선거 프로젝트 수업에 적용한 뒤 공론화 작업도 할 방침입니다. 정규조 서울지부 등 5개 진보 교원단체들이 주관한 이번 토론회에는 보수 성향인 서울교총이 불참해 반쪽짜리 행사에 거쳤습니다. YTN 근호진입니다.
La moitié des 16,7 millions d'euros prévus pour ce projet lancé en 2015 et qui s'achève en 2020.
La culture principale ici, c'est la luzerne. Expérimentée qu'au niveau de l'Iraser. C'est une zone d'élevage et il y a des moments, des périodes de soudure. Et pour compenser ces soudures, il faut qu'il y ait de la luzerne. C'est pourquoi nous sommes en train d'exploiter la luzerne.
Ultime défi après 2020, Orano cessera son financement. Le projet Iraser devra voler de ses propres ailes grâce aux redevances versées par les exploitants après la vente de leurs récoltes qui sont déposées sur un compte bancaire.
Vous voulez connaître les dernières actualités économiques, des pôles financiers africains aux hubs financiers internationaux et aux acteurs majeurs de petites et moyennes entreprises. Dans Business Africa, nous examinons et évaluons les principales informations financières. Retrouvez-moi dans Business Africa, seulement sur Africa News et africanews.com.
Новый этап импичмента. Спикер Палаты представителей демократ Нэнси Пелоси сообщила, что голосование по обвинениям против Трампа состоится на Капитолии в среду.
Ровно год нет правительства. Бельгия продолжает жить без главного исполнительного органа власти.
Во Франции прошла третья за этот месяц общенациональная забастовка. Ее участники протестуют против реформы пенсионной системы.
Британский парламент возобновил работу. Борис Джонсон планирует законодательно исключить возможность продления переходного периода после Брексита.
Новый этап импичмента после того, как спикер Палаты представителей во вторник сообщила, что голосование по 2 статьям обвинения против Трампа в рамках ведущейся на Капитолийском холме процедуры состоится в среду. Белый дом опубликовал письмо главы администрации, адресованное Нэнси Пелоси. Президент назвал происходящее, цитата, «незаконной партийной попыткой совершить переворот». Юридический комитет Нижней палаты Конгресса в конце прошлой недели утвердил 2 пункта обвинения против Трампа, позволяющих объявить ему импичмент. Представители Демократической партии считают, что Трамп злоупотребил полномочиями, вмешавшись во внутренние дела Украины и препятствовал расследованию Конгресса. Эти обвинения в среду должны быть рассмотрены конгрессменами в полном составе. В письме американский президент заявляет, что конгрессмены-демократы явили пример беспрецедентного, нарушающего Конституцию злоупотребления властью. Он отмечает, что сама Пелоси и партия, которую она представляет, стали заложниками радикалов, имеющих ультралевые убеждения. И он отмечает, что американский народ на выборах 2020 года потребует за эти шаги отчитаться. В случае утверждения обвинительного заключения оно будет передано в Сенат, где у однопартийцев Трампа большинство. Я никогда не видел такого единства в рядах республиканцев. В Нижней палате все голосовали против обвинения. Надеюсь, что в Верхней палате результат голосования будет аналогичным. Я разговаривал сегодня утром с Митчем МакКоннеллом, спикером республиканского большинства. Он разделяет в данном случае мою оценку. Чтобы обвинения, приведшие к импичменту, были утверждены, необходимо не менее 67 сенаторов, высказавшихся «за». В настоящий момент у республиканцев в Сенате 53 мандата из 100 положенных по Конституции. Накануне голосования в Палате представителей в Нью-Йорке манифестанты призвали законодателей объявить Трампу импичмент и изгнать президента из Белого дома.
Ровно год Бельгия живет без правительства. Политический кризис начался в декабре прошлого года. Тогда после одобрения миграционного пакта в Марракеше 2 крупнейшие партии страны не смогли прийти к соглашению. Коалиция премьер-министра Шарля Мишеля распалась. С тех пор правоцентристская группа без парламентского большинства решает повседневные задачи страны. Группу временно возглавляет первая женщина-премьер-министр Софи Вильмес. В управлении помогают региональные правительства Бельгии, но их власть ограничена. У меня сложилось впечатление, что бельгийская политика бесполезна. Это просто фасад, потому что хотя у нас и нет правительства, все по-прежнему работает хорошо. Все крутится вокруг фламандцев, говорящих на нидерландском языке, но это не имеет к проблеме никакого отношения. То, что происходит, просто политика. Эксперты-политологи говорят, что большая часть населения страны недолюбливает политиков. Очевидно, что политикам не удалось сформировать правительство. Создается впечатление, что все партии прежде всего занимаются стратегической борьбой, а не думают об общих интересах. Пока Бельгия справляется без правительства, и это происходит в стране не в первый раз. Но многие избиратели считают, что необходимо долгосрочное планирование.
Остановить реформу пенсионной системы. С этой целью...
Blanche, Joe Biden, en échange d'une aide militaire américaine accordée à Kiev. Des accusations niées en bloc par Donald Trump, qui à la veille de ce vote a rédigé une lettre au vitriol dans laquelle il évoque un acte anticonstitutionnel et un abus de pouvoir sans précédent de la part des démocrates. Il les accuse d'avoir cédé au chantage de la frange d'extrême gauche du parti, la plus dérangée et la plus radicale selon ses termes. Selon lui, ses adversaires n'ont pas digéré leur défaite dans les urnes en 2016 et il ajoute que le peuple américain les tiendra pleinement responsables lors de l'élection de 2020. Avant lui, seuls 2 autres présidents ont fait l'objet d'une telle procédure de destitution, Andrew Johnson en 1868 et Bill Clinton en 1998, Richard Nixon ayant préféré démissionner suite au scandale du Watergate en 1974. Donald Trump, qui se présente volontiers en victime d'une croisade vicieuse, espère que tout cela favorisera in fine sa réélection l'an prochain dans un pays profondément divisé entre ses partisans et ses détracteurs. Après le vote de la Chambre basse, qui sera sans doute une simple formalité, il reviendra au Sénat d'organiser le procès du président, probablement le mois prochain, mais les républicains, qui détiennent la majorité, ont d'ores et déjà prévenu qu'ils seraient acquittés.
Des milliers de Tchèques à nouveau dans les rues de Prague ce mardi. Ils réclament la démission du Premier ministre Andrej Babis. Le milliardaire populiste est confronté à une série d'accusations de corruption. Le parquet vient notamment de rouvrir une affaire de fraude présumée aux subventions européennes.
Je veux me battre pour la démocratie et parce que je pense à mes enfants. Je ne veux pas qu'un mensonge devienne quelque chose de normal.
Je pense que dans d'autres pays, un Premier ministre qui serait accusé de telles choses aurait choisi de démissionner. Le nôtre clame que jamais il ne se retirera. Et je ne pense pas que la politique doit être menée de cette façon.
Les manifestants tentent de mettre la pression sur le Premier ministre en multipliant les rassemblements. Malgré tout, à en croire les sondages, Andrej Babis reste populaire.
Triste anniversaire pour la Belgique. Aujourd'hui, cela fait tout juste un an que les Belges vivent sans véritable gouvernement. Le 18 décembre 2018, le Premier ministre Charles Michel remettait sa démission au roi après le retrait des nationalistes flamands en désaccord avec le gouvernement sur l'adoption du pacte migratoire de Marrakech. La classe politique fracturée, Charles Michel expédie alors les affaires courantes. Désormais président du Conseil européen, il a été remplacé par Sophie Wilmès, nommée par le roi comme première ministre en affaires courantes. L'absence de gouvernement fédéral de plein droit est palliée par les régions. Mais la défense, les affaires étrangères, la migration, encore la sécurité sociale restent au fédéral. Et pour l'heure, tout fonctionne.
Parce que j'ai l'impression que la politique belge, en fait, elle sert à rien, c'est juste une façade, quoi. Parce que quand on n'a pas de gouvernement, tout fonctionne toujours aussi bien, donc voilà.
Tout tourne toujours autour des Flamands, des Néerlandophones, alors que ça n'a rien à voir. C'est politique. Pendant qu'on fait la division, on ne crée pas l'union.
Les analystes expliquent justement le désamour des Belges pour la politique par ce manque d'altruisme des politiciens.
Clairement, la classe politique a collectivement pas réussi à former un gouvernement. Quand il y a quand même une impression que tous les partis politiques sont surtout empiétrés dans des logiques stratégiques, partisanes, au lieu de penser à l'intérêt général et former un gouvernement.
Selon un sondage réalisé pour cet anniversaire par le journal Le Soir, 80% des Belges estiment qu'un an sans gouvernement, c'est honteux. Question de principe.
100 ans, c'est la durée qu'il faudra encore pour atteindre l'égalité des sexes dans le monde. Voici la conclusion du dernier rapport du Forum économique mondial. Même si dans la plupart des domaines, les inégalités entre hommes et femmes se réduisent peu à peu, ce n'est pas le cas dans le monde du travail.
Un certain nombre de facteurs entrent en jeu. L'un d'eux est le type de métiers qui vont se développer dans le futur, les types de professions, les types de postes et les façons de gagner un revenu. Ce sont des domaines qui n'ont en fait pas beaucoup de femmes dans leur vivier de talent, même si les femmes constituent la majorité des diplômés de l'université. Par exemple, seuls 12% des professionnels du cloud computing sont des femmes. Pour ce qui est des professionnels de l'intelligence artificielle, il n'y a que 12% de femmes et elles ne sont que 15% d'ingénieurs. Nous assistons à un écart important dans ces métiers.
Et pourtant, certains pays ont réussi à promouvoir plus de parité. Dernier exemple en date, l'élection en Finlande d'une première ministre femme de 34 ans, Sanna Marin. Ce sont les pays du nord de l'Europe qui sont les meilleurs élèves, l'Islande en tête. Le pays a réussi à combler près de 88% de son écart entre les sexes. Suivent ensuite la Norvège, la Finlande et la Suède. À l'échelle de l'Europe de l'Ouest, si rien ne change, il faudra 54 ans pour réduire les inégalités entre hommes et femmes. Un chiffre en amélioration, mais un long chemin reste tout de même à parcourir.
당분간 아침에는 영하권 추위가 이어지겠습니다. 금요일인 모레 새벽 서울을 비롯한 내륙 곳곳에 눈발이 날리거나 눈이 약간 쌓이겠습니다. 날씨 알려드렸습니다.
뉴스 1번이 마칩니다.
함께해 주신 여러분 고맙습니다.
맛있게 먹고
시원하게 비우고
이 결은요 역시 메이킨이죠.
변비, 복부 팽만, 식욕 부진 한 번에 싹 메이킨
시원하게 변비 끝 유쾌 상쾌 통쾌 변비 메이킨.
끊임없이 직장해온 여정입니다. 전구로 어둠을 밝혔고 두 발을 넘어 바퀴로 세계를 개척했으며 중력의 제약을 이겨내고